Okay, welcome back to the Tone Bar channel. If you're new to the channel, the Tone Bar is a new way of mounting your acoustic guitar strings. This is what we're talking about. No pins. We're eliminating the pins. The pins have been around for over 100 years, and they are the reason you're breaking strings and the reason your guitar is not sounding as good as it could. Now with a tone bar in your guitar, it's what you're used to. Look at the pins. They're all in there cantywampus. They're all in there. They're just in there helter-skelter. Okay, if you're new to the channel, I'm just going to tell you what the tone bar is, what it does, and then I'm going to move on to the roll call that I promised you in the last thing. Now here is what you're going to. Here's what we're going to. The tone bar goes into the end, inside the ball ends of the string, and then all the strings pull together, pull the tone bar up on the bridge plate, and you get perfect contact. You get better contact, gives you more sustain, makes the notes ring out. You hear that? Tone bar installed on your guitar strings, this new standard. This is the new standard of mounting guitar strings on your acoustic guitar. Throw the pins away. They don't do nothing. Keep one in case you break a string. The tone bar prevents string breakage. Okay, what a tone bar does, you get perfect install of your strings each time. They're all on there the same way. You're going to get increased volume. You're going to get increased sustain. You're going to get your guitar is going to project out more. It's going to ring out. You're going to hear all the notes clearer. The whole body is going to vibrate. One guy said, if I knew what this thing done and all the things that he says it does, but it does a whole lot more than he says it does. And this guy's saying what I'm saying about it. He says that I'm too conservative in what the tone bar actually does to your guitar. Because he goes, if I knew what it did, I'd have paid 3 times as much. I got new packaging, and I ship them out free, $10 on eBay and $10 on Reverb. Free shipping. You buy 2, I'll send you 3. I'll send you 3. Okay. All right, let's go over the diagram. Here, how can the tone bar prevent string breakage? Okay, up here in this diagram here, when you put the pin in, it forces the ball in to get pinched back up against the bridge plate like I showed you in that previous model. And then you're bending the string down here at the bottom, and then when it gets to the top, the pin is wedging the string in at the top of the sound hole, of the pinhole. And that's why people say you need to slot your bridges, slot your pinholes. to give you a better little transition over that. Well, the tone bar accomplishes that just by the change in the way you mount your strings. Now here on when the tone bar is in your guitar, the tone bar is in the middle of the pinhole, and the string comes straight up the pinhole at a slight angle, and then goes over the bridge. It's got an easier, smoother transition over the saddle, and all those strings. There's the logo pulling up against the bridge plate all at the same time, makes that bridge plate, makes that guitar come alive. I mean, okay. So if you're new to the channel and you just tuned in, get a tone bar. You're going to improve the sound of your guitar in ways that you've never imagined. And I'm not just saying that. That's what in the last video I read all the reviews. Nobody says this doesn't work. Everybody says that if I knew what it did, I'd have paid twice as much. Okay, now let's get down to the nitty gritty. If you're new to the tone bar channel, tone bar is a way to change your strings, a new way of changing your strings like this right here, and it's going to make your guitar sound a lot better. And the next series of videos is going to be little short clips of, I think it's more than 20 different things that the tone bar does to the guitar. So we're going to go over those 20 things in the next video. Today, let me tell you who has a tone bar. Who's got them? Who's got them? Let's go to the tape. Okay. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. So if you've got the information you need, get a tone bar today. I ship them out free with shipping. Free shipping on a tone bar. You buy one for 10, you buy two for 20, you get 3. You buy 3, you get 5. Okay, we got to pay for that shipping. Okay, when I first started this, not when I started the channel, when I was filing my provisional patent. Where's the patent at? There it is. When I was filing this to get the patent, I have, an old friend. He's kind of a mentor, and he's a really, really, really smart guy and almost 90 years old. And he's been, a very strong advocate. Even though he don't play the guitar, he goes, that's good. I like that. Okay, here's the money shot. When you get a tone bar in your guitar, that's what it looks like underneath your bridge. Or that's what it looks like underneath your bridge. All the strings are connected together, and they're pulling the tone bar up against the bridge plate, which gives you the sound. So let's go back to the patent here. On the first page of the patent, like one guy said in comments, the box of the guitar is the amplifier. It's a passive amplifier, and those X bracings and all that are designed to make that top vibrate without the strings pulling the belly up. Okay. Now in the last sentence of the patent, or in the abstract on the front here, you get an abstract. That's your patent with all your numbers. Okay. When you get the abstract says the strings are acoustically coupled to the bridge plate and to the soundboard to vibrate the soundboard to produce acoustically amplified string tones. The tone bar is like the voice coil on a speaker. Your guitar is a speaker, but it hadn't until now had a voice coil to drive it. Okay. All right. Now, so what I was telling you about is this old guy I met. Been like he was an advocate. He was very very encouraging. You know, and I was getting this ready to file the provisional patent. Well, he told me, he says, I want number one. I want the first one you make, or the first one you sell. So I sold him the very first one, and we called him. I'm not going to mention his name, but he is known around the area as the Elder Welder. Sweet, knowledgeable, funny world traveler. Okay, I'm lucky to have a bunch of father figures over the 68 years, and he's a good one. I really enjoy spending time with him. Okay, so he got number one. He got number one. I got a book here, and I logged in every tone bar's got a serial number, and I've logged those all in here, and I'm gonna tell you who's got them. And if somebody comes up with this great idea they've come up with, they probably got the tone bar for me, and they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes. So let's go down the list, and let me explain where the tone bars went early in its inception. After I filed the provisional patent, then you're legally able to make, sell, and promote. And I did that. Took them to every guitar show. Okay, let's go. So the Elder Welder got number one. That was a beautiful thing. I met this girl. She's Ricky Skaggs' cousin, and she's a piano player. I was in a band with her. She says she heard my guitar. She says, I want one. My son plays guitar. So she bought two of them. Second person, serial number two. The fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and all, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them I sold to a guy that works at a pawn shop, and I showed it to him. He's been a good friend, and he goes, man, I see it. I get it. I want 6 of them. So he got up to number 8, and then I give one to the Guitar Center guy. He's a drummer, and then I get another one to the Guitar Center guy. He's got one. The teacher at the Guitar Center is left-handed. These fit in left-handed guitars, right-handed guitars, plywood, solid wood, doesn't matter. You're just changing the way you mount your strings. See, look at the logo. Okay, so he put it in his guitar, and I went back in there and I said, did you put it in your guitar? He goes, yeah, I did. I said, well, what do you think? He goes, it's like you said, it rings out forever. The notes are clear, and it projects, and he goes, it made my guitar come alive. The last guy on Reverb, I sent him some. He bought some on Reverb, and he said that, what did he say? He said that that he was going, that's what it was. He was going to sell that guitar that he had because it didn't sound very good. He goes, I was getting ready to sell this guitar. It had mahogany back and sides. He goes, it was okay, but it didn't really sound that good. He goes, and I put that tone bar in there. It sounded like it had rosewood back and sides. He goes, that thing brightened it up, made it come alive, made it vibrate, gave it more projection, more volume, more sustain, more clarity. He says, I'm keeping this guitar. This guitar is awesome. But it wasn't awesome before with bridge pins in it. Here's this little bridge pin head guy I got right here. He's in some of the videos. Okay. And then I've sold 2 to a couple of guys I met at a bar. Had my guitar with me, and I showed it to them. They go, oh, we like that. All right, now let's get to the nitty gritty. My little Pollyanna way of viewing the world gets you in trouble because most people aren't, most people try to take advantage of you, which is just the way it is. Okay, I sent some samples. I've met Norm from Norm's Rare Guitars. I went to Norm. I've met Norm when he was on Van Nuys Boulevard, and he had that little shop around from Robert Stamp's amp shop. I took him. I went from California, from Kentucky to California. I got two sisters live out there. Oh, and something else I need to tell you. How many of y'all know who Marvin Gaye is? How many know that the singer that sang with him on Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Tammy Terrell? How many of y'all know her or have heard of her? She died on stage in Marvin Gaye's arms. One of the best singers in Motown. Well, just so happens my little sister, Vicky, wrote Tammy Terrell's biography, and you can get it. It's available for sale, and she wrote Tammy Terrell's biography in cooperation with Ludi, her sister, and the book's got all these fantastic pictures of Tammy all through her life, and it's a really worthwhile book to get. So I'm giving a shout out to my sister for writing the book, and she also wrote, and most people out y'all don't know this. There was 3 ladies, church ladies, that sang at Motown. They sang almost all the background stuff. If there's a girl singing in a four-top song, it's these 3 ladies, and their name was the Adantes. The Adantes were the backup singers for almost every Motown song, and my sister wrote their biography too. So my little sister's got 2 books out. One by one of the Tammy Terrell's biography, and the other one the Adantes, the background singers. And so my little sister's got 2 books. I got 2 patents. Okay, we just got good genes, and they ain't Levi's. Okay, let's get back to the thing. So I went out to Norm's, and I had a early '60s double cut blue sparkle Dan Electro double pickup. And this is the game, though, and I'm experiencing this same type of game in this tone bar adventure that I did back in '95, 30 years ago, going out to California and trying to sell a vintage guitar. Well, when you take a guitar into these vintage guitar stores back in that day, before YouTube, before this was even a thing, they'd look at that guitar and goes, "Oh, that nobody wants that. That's old, that's junk, nobody wants that." So they play the game as if your stuff is junk, and then they get it and sell it for 10 times the money. So that was the game back in the day. Okay, so Norm wouldn't even look at my guitar. Inside Norm's, he had a case there with the Epiphone Switchmaster, which was cool. Or it might have been the Gibson Switchmaster. It was in a big glass case. But that was when Norm was over on Van Nuys, and after I got done dealing with him, I did sell the amp. I had a Gibson 6 amp, and I went around a corner, and Robert Stamps bought that from me, but I had to bring the double cut Dan Electro all the way home to Kentucky, and I went to Louisville, and I sold it to Jimmy Brown at Guitar Emporium, and he gave me good money for it. So that's he didn't play the game. He knows what it was, and he knew me. So Norm don't know me. If he don't know you, he ain't gonna mess with you. Okay, so all that being said, I called up Norm's, and he's on Van Nuys now. No, Ventura. He's on Ventura right there by Reseda Boulevard. Okay, so I called up, and I got to talk to Jack Sullivan. Remember that kind of chubby guy that played tellies and played pretty good? So he said, "Oh yeah, send one out. We'll look at it." So I sent one to Norm's in care of Jack Sullivan. I never heard nothing back. Jack Sullivan got the tone bar from me sending it to Norm's, and I don't know if he got it or he took off with it or what happened with it, but that one kind of disappeared. So if Jack Sullivan comes up to you and says, "Hey man, I got this great idea," well, he stole it from me, and I have the patent on it. So get a real one and I don't know what, you can't buy this material. You can't buy this material at the store. You have to, I have it made in 25-pound spools, and I have them made on a CNC bending machine. So that each one of them is perfect. They're all perfect, exactly the same material. Okay, so Norm, I sent one to Norm, and then when I called back to see what happened, oh, we don't handle accessories. We don't handle accessories. So they wouldn't want them. So then I sent one to Gruen's in Nashville, and I never heard nothing back. I called back, and they went, I don't know, well, I don't know, we didn't get it, or I didn't send it, or you didn't send it. I sent it, but I didn't hear nothing back from them. So then I told the story in another video. I seen George Gruen at the Amigos Guitar Show, not this past year, but the year before that, and he played my guitar, and he loved it, and I said, George, the way the strings are mounted in this guitar makes it sound that good. And I said, here, did you get the one I sent you? He goes, no. I said, well, one of your guys got it or something, but here's another one, and I handed it to him personally, and I have not heard back from him. Okay, I also called up Carter's Vintage Guitars. Walter Carter and George used to have they was Gruen's Guitars down on Broadway, but they had a break up, and Walter told me some of it, but was contractually obligated not to speak about some of it. So anyway, I called Walter and sent him one, and he says he got it, but he was apprehensive because he goes, well, what if you break a string? But he called me back. Walter is a straight up dude. He called me back. But little did I know, because it was early in this adventure, I didn't realize that the change in the way you mount the string actually prevents string breakage. So now, Walter, if you're watching this, don't worry about string breakage. The tone bar covers that. Okay, I sent one to all the guitar stores in Louisville, Mom's, Guitar Emporium. And then after I had these on eBay, then we started getting sales. Then I started getting sales. The first guy that bought this I didn't even know was a guy named Carlo, and not the Godfather Carlo. Carlo got 3 of them, and then I sold one to Michael, to Robert, to Glenn, to Anita, to Johnny, and then the lady at my printers, she bought one for her husband, and her husband loves it. And then the other girl that worked in the shop there, she bought one too, because she said, man, her husband's guitar sounds awesome. I want one in mine too. So they got it. Let's see. I give one to More Music in Evansville, but they acted like I had 3 heads, and they wouldn't even talk to me, and they just kind of brushed me off. And then I went back about a year later and said, hey man, did you try that tone bar? And I go, well, I don't know where it went to, man. Well, we'll try to find it somewhere. But they just, I don't know about those dudes over there. Okay, so anyway, so then I got a friend here in town named Jed. I sold him a couple. Michael, Sherlin, Lewis, Randy Sharp in Three Rivers, California. Been to Three Rivers. Pat, Gene, Brad, Edward, Jeannie, Ronald, Michael, Harold, Lewis. So what I'm telling you is I've sent these out to everybody, and a lot of people, when you give them something, they just throw it in the corner and they don't do nothing with it because it's free. If you pay for something, I'm not giving no more away, because you got to have something in the game. Okay, so here's the sticker that you get. You get the patented tone bar, and get one today. This battery's getting ready to run out on me. Get one today. You won't regret it. tone bar. Change your guitar for the better just by changing the way you mount your strings. You don't have to trust me. Just do it and you'll understand. I can't tell you how much better your guitar will sound because every guitar is different. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care of those that you love and get a tone bar. I'll send it right out to you. Thanks for watching.